I was afraid he's going to wear that blue polyester thing. When you guys originally got married, right?
No. He's not. He doesn't have that on.
Because it's polyester. Theoretically, you can etch it, you know.
I could if I still have it. But, and you know what? I actually have the bow tie that he wore, so I could dig that out and put something on it.
Okay, so just fill in who you are and where you are, if you don't mind.
Good.
I'm Dina Denning, and owner of CSDI here near Pittsburgh, PA.
And I'm Chuck Denning.
Who's the compadre there?
I'm Chuck Denning. I'm Dina's husband and partner at CSDI.
Okay, and you've been in business for how long?
17 years.
And you're still married as partners. Congratulations. It's difficult.
It's been a fun experience.
Yeah, because you live together, work together, and it becomes the whole conversation. I know exactly the feeling.
Absolutely.
So, how did you find us? Tell us how we met.
Well, we found you at the Baltimore show for signs.
Yes.
The show?
There you go. And you caught my eye on Friday. I was walking through the show, caught my eye, and I had on my mind some other things and kept looking at everything else. But then on Saturday we went back to the show, and I was standing waiting for Dina. She was looking at something at another booth, and I'm standing right next to your booth, and it just kind of caught my eye what you were doing, and people standing around, and hey Dina, come here, look, you got to see this, and there it was, and the more we learned, the more we talked about it, the more it made sense as a way to step our business up in a more positive direction.
Was it busy at our booth, do you recall?
Yeah, it was pretty busy at your booth, actually. It was, I think, the first time that it caught my attention. There was enough people there to say, you know what, I got to go somewhere else. But then when we came back around, I says, man, you got to look at this.
Okay, great. What were you actually looking for when you went to the show?
Well, we didn't have anything in mind per se. Digital printing was something that we were looking for an update on, but it was kind of on the back burner type of thing. When we got to the show, we got introduced to color sublimation as well, and we've embarked on that process also. But we really had nothing in mind that we were after. It was just the fact that going to the show and trying to see what was new out there and what we might be able to incorporate into the business.
So, Dina, can I give you a piece of advice?
Sure.
Don't go to Costco with him because he'll spend too much if he goes in with nothing in mind and comes out with a laser.
We know that all too well.
So, why are you guys actually looking for something? I remember your story, but nobody knows that. So, what was the reason that you had a fire lit to do something, whatever it was, even though you didn't know at the moment what it had to be?
Well, we had grown up in embroidery in our business, and that was a big part of who we were. And over the years, our clients have pushed us into promotional items and then screen printing. And those areas have become so commoditized with those products that it's getting to be a struggle to just stay open, really, and to have a profit. So with the laser, when we looked at the laser, we saw it as, wow, this is a way we can get out ahead of some of the competition that we have in the area. And it just made sense that it could add to what we were already doing without any other investment in other machinery.
Can you elaborate a little bit the definition of what competition means on your street?
Well, actually, probably within a 2-mile radius, we have at least 6 different competitors within a 2-mile radius. Expand that by about another 1.5 miles, and we end up with a couple more competitors. Our competition are people that concentrate on price, and quality would be second. And we find that it's getting more and more difficult because people are shopping on price because they've commoditized it. And our business from the very start has always been about quality. Quality was first. And what was happening was we started to relax our own standards to accommodate those pricing situations because it's becoming tougher and tougher to compete.
So what that means is people, in order to sell a left, what's a left chest go for in that neighborhood then?
Well, in our case, we were trying to keep about a $15 price tag on a left chest, and that's for small quantity on that. If we went large quantity, we would be probably half of that.
And the only way you can relax in that is by reducing stitch count dramatically, right?
That would be correct.
How long did it take when the guys came in the morning? How long did it take for the laser to be set up and operational stuff? When what was the setup time?
Well, first I was impressed because they were right on time. So they got here right on time, about 7:30. We were set up and ready to go no later than 9:30. I think it was 9:30 on the spot. So we got the warm and fuzzies out of the way for the good 20 minutes in the morning. They jumped right on the machine, and by 9:30 we were ready to go.
And how long after the machine they said, here, it's ready, did it take you to make your first piece?
I don't think that was probably 15 minutes after that. 15 to 20 minutes after that.
And that was just the basic training originally?
Yeah, basic training. It was, we said right from the start we wanted to be involved with etching. That applique and stuff was maybe a little bit less of a priority for us. And so they focused right in on the etching right from the start, and we were etching real quick.
Okay, good. Are you comfortable with what you have, what you see, what you did, what you made?
Yeah, we're more than comfortable. We stayed up half the night thinking about more ways to make money with it.
Wait a minute, you can't blame me for lack of sleep now. Now you have the damn thing.
Well,
it is your fault.
Okay, so when you talk to me after, do you find with anything else you've ever bought before, do people talk about how to make money with the machines? Do people talk to you about marketing ideas? Is that something that you could attest to, that we're different in that respect than anything else you've ever purchased?
Well, we were discussing that, as a matter of fact, at dinner last night, and the fact that, some other purchases that we've made in the past, where once we made the purchase, we were pretty much abandoned and left on our own. And how much that aggravated me that is the case. And it's some of the machinery we're still using today now after all these years of being in business. The process of dealing with you, Rob, seemed to be different right from the start. One, you being, the owner of the company, your main principal of the company, you got involved right from the start and all the way through the process. So that was impressive. You were able to answer the questions. If there was anything that I had an extra question on or an extra concern on, it was like the buck stopped with you, so there wasn't waiting on 10 other people to get involved with the deal. From that aspect, it was much, much different to be able to get this off the ground and get it moving. The other thing that...
One thing, can I just interrupt you?
Sure.
Don't lose your train of thought.
Sure.
I have an identity problem, and I have competitors saying that I'm a one-man show. Did I physically do any of the training, customer support? Did you deal with other people in the company?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Band?
Yeah, I've dealt with a number of people now at your company, and I from the time the phone is answered with Jane, and I've talked to, of course, Alex now, and I talked to Tom in your production area, and I mean, every time somebody was involved, they were quite helpful, and it's worked all the way around.
Okay, what were you going to finish on?
I felt like your involvement with me early on made me comfortable enough to then interact with the leasing company on this deal, where it helped me be comfortable with them because you had some at least a working relationship with those folks. That made it even easier to accept the various numbers and things that they were offering me and the options that they were offering me, and I didn't feel like I was ever under pressure through the whole process to actually go through with the whole deal. It was a case of, here it is.
You gotta let me clarify something. Sorry, with the phone, it sounded like you're down the middle of the interrupt. Who was put under pressure, sir?
Nobody was put under pressure.
No. Where did you put me under pressure for delivery date, remember? Because we had to meet certain criteria because of vacation, because of holiday, right?
That's true.
And I would you verify that I put a penalty in if I was late, a financial penalty?
Yeah, actually, I was concerned that this was going to go on a long time, linger along, and I wanted the machine. If we weren't going to get the machine before all of this scheduling issue, then we weren't going to get it till sometime in January. And I said, listen, if we're going to go through this, I want to be sure that this is shipped by November 18th. If it's not, then I'm going to expect you to pay the lease payments on it, at least for every day that you're late shipping it on from November 18th. And what had happened was, actually, it did ship on November 18th, and it was personally delivered by your staff here on Sunday afternoon. So they left, it was shipped on Friday, Sunday afternoon. It's in my shop, and Monday morning they're putting it together.
Okay, great. Yeah, well, you know what? I knew the scheduling thing was important to you, so
yeah.
And I can't do that if I didn't have a good team. I want to be clear.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a good team. There's no question. Dean and I have talked about this quite a bit, and the impression that we got with the two guys here on the job was the fact that while you got a young guy here trying to learn your business, you've got a real adult here that understands that the business, it has to sell things and it has to do right by customers for the business to continue to grow. And then you have Alex here that understands this from a whole different perspective as well. And when he walks in and we get past his foreign accent and everything and start to understand how he talks and how I react and things like that, it just is a very comfortable experience all the way around. It's been. So you do have a great team. There is no question you have a great team.
I appreciate it. Dina,
yes.
Am I a guy like a shoemaker with a leather bib and a couple tools who runs around and makes stuff in a basement, you think?
Are you that guy? Are you kidding me? No, not at all. Not at all.
I have to say that because I have a couple funny emails, and I just want people to know that it's like a bigger thing. And guess what? You're a Yankee and we're a crazy Canuck, and you still made the decision, so I appreciate that. I'm married to an American. I get to say all those words, right? So now, just to be clear, what's important in the next little while is when you guys have any questions, Alex will tell you basically who to contact for what. And because I don't have all the answers to everything, I hired people that are much smarter than me to work for me, so they take care of the details in that respect. But when it comes to marketing, I want to reiterate that you guys will be given the calendar for 2012. I believe that embroidery businesses work really, really hard, often 60 to 80 hours a week, and they're not taking out enough money relative to the hours they work. Sometimes I see that the employees are better off than the owners. So those marketing training dates for our family of laser, embossing, and rhinestone users are spread throughout the year, and I want you to seriously consider going and making a vacation out of it. We've got one cruise, we've got one in Vegas, and we've got one in South Carolina. So there's no excuse to take more breaks from the business, because one thing I want you to do is work on your business more coming in the new year, using the tools, rather than working in the business. Is that fair?
Very fair.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So, no free tattoos, all right? Everything you charge for on the laser. And if you have any questions, give us a call for whatever you need. And then let's just stay in touch now. I'll be emailing you, the things that you can use for pricing, terms and conditions, and the tools that you need to go launch this properly, okay? And then just talk to me when you got stuff. Let's schedule stuff through Jane, because she runs my calendar.
Okay.
And she can tell you better where I'm available, etc., than I can sometimes. And that's it. I'm here for you.
Okay, good. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, don't keep them there. Send them back to Canada, please, those guys.
No, I keep offering them a turkey dinner, trying to get somebody to stay, so.
Okay, fair enough. So don't be shy, right? We can control everything remotely, and you just got to play with it now. Make lots of samples, and then just before we got on the conference call, I told you a few things you have to do for the marketing, because I want you to do something every month moving forward. Fair
right,
enough, guys?
Absolutely.
Thank you again for your trust and your confidence, and congratulations, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.